Hannah, we have had a lot of shrimp cocktail over the past, I want to say, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just last night, we went to 2 restaurants, had 2 shrimp cocktails, spent a total of around probably $50, $60 on a total of 9 cocktail shrimp.
Bryan, I think we got to talk about why we're paying for shrimp cocktail and why I will continue to pay for it till the day I die.
Absolutely. I think today we are going to do an exhaustive investigation on why people are ordering shrimp cocktail, who's ordering shrimp cocktail,
Everyone.
and why shrimp cocktail. Just broadly, why?
Yeah, why?
It's luxurious, it's not as expensive as caviar. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the appeal.
Is shrimp cocktail the poor man's caviar?
Well, it's definitely not for poor people because it's so expensive.
You're right about that.
Hey, you shrimp lovers. This is Infatuation's Restaurant People, the show for people who eat at restaurants sometimes.
I'm Hannah Albertine, senior editor at Infatuation and woman who is dressed like a shrimp.
I'm Bryan Kim, editorial lead at Infatuation NYC, and I think shrimp taste better than they smell. Today on Restaurant People, we're talking about shrimp cocktail. The appetizer is everywhere, but should it be anywhere?
Is ordering shrimp cocktail a good idea? Financially, emotionally? We're going to talk about it.
On today's episode, we'll be joined in studio by guest Jonathan Smith, Infatuation editor and shrimp cocktail enthusiast, to eat some shrimp and talk about what about shrimp cocktail gets us every single time.
And we'll also talk about our favorite shrimp cocktails and where you can find them.
All this and more on today's episode of Restaurant People. Hannah, are you ready to get shrimpy?
I'm so ready.
Me too.
Restaurant People, we have a very special guest this episode, senior editor, shrimp cocktail watchdog, your friend and mine. Welcome, Jonathan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're so excited you're here. I can't believe your family of shrimps let you come on this podcast.
I know, it's wild. I was able to escape the net, and I'm here.
Oh,
Jonathan, raised by shrimp in the Gulf of Mexico. Jonathan, you see what's in front of us?
It's a shrimp cocktail.
It's called shrimp cocktail, actually. Mm-hmm. Why is it there? Because this whole episode is going to be about shrimp cocktail. Everybody just take the time to say the word shrimp. Jonathan, can I get a shrimp?
Yeah.
Shrimp.
Shrimp! Shrimp!
Shrimp. Ooh. Now, what do you have to tell us about shrimp cocktail, Jonathan?
I have spent a lot of time thinking about shrimp cocktail over the years, and I think there are a few foods that kind of fall into the same category, but shrimp cocktail is very dependent on your environment, I think. You know, I feel like you can have the exact same shrimp cocktail in 2 different places, and it can be either horrible or mind-blowing.
You think that's right, Bryan?
Yeah, okay, I'll buy that for now.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this environment is pretty similar to where we normally eat shrimp cocktail, right? With cameras.
We eat shrimp cocktail in all kinds of environments. Hannah and I have had shrimp cocktail at least 3 times this week.
Wow.
True. Yeah.
Wow.
We've shrimped in high places and low ones. And now we're going to shrimp with you. I mean, it's only fair. Like, we had to offer you some shrimp cocktail on the shrimp cocktail episode.
It looks delicious.
We are looking at a martini glass full of cocktail sauce with 7 beautiful curled shrimps coming out, sort of like water falling out of the top of the glass. And there's a nice lemon wedge that is placed on the rim. And actually, Bryan, I want to quote something you said in our earlier martini episode.
Yes, please.
Which was, anything that comes in a martini glass is a martini.
I did say that.
So are we looking at a martini
I'm sticking
right
to
now?
it. This is a shrimp teeny. This is a shrimp martini.
Don't mind if I do. Tell me, Jonathan, is this presentation, the glass full of cocktail sauce, is that something you've seen personally in your shrimp cocktail research?
I haven't seen it in a clear cocktail glass in quite a while.
Okay.
I had a shrimp cocktail at Randazzo's in Sheepshead Bay about a week ago that was in a kind of like metal coupe that was like, you know, sort of cocktail shaped, but not clear. And I think this is a classy presentation that we have right here.
It's really good.
Yeah, having had shrimp cocktail, I would say probably 6 times in the past 2 weeks. It's generally how you described it, in a metal container with ice. The shrimp is on the ice, and then you have a lemon wedge, and then you have cocktail sauce on the side. This, I think, is more of an old school presentation in the martini, omitting the ice. Either way, a legitimate shrimp cocktail. All the important elements are there: sauce, shrimp, lemon.
And you know what? Notably, it is still cold, which is an essential part of a shrimp cocktail. Like if you're eating any shrimp that feels even tepid, you don't want it. That is not a good shrimp cocktail. It's a recipe for disaster.
Cold but not too cold. Am I right, Jonathan?
It would be hard for me. I mean, frozen you don't want.
You don't want frozen.
I think like, anything below that is good with me.
You want ice.
I would like ice.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh my God, it's this precious little dainty, adorable food that needs to be chilled. Or is it like ice is kind of a luxurious thing? Or is it like sensitive to health concerns?
I think it's maybe a little bit of all of those things. It's a dish that's meant to be eaten and encourages you to eat it faster. You don't want to wait for the ice to melt, you know, then you got like water on your table. It's like you got to just like keep eating it. You know?
I've seen pebble ice lately seems to be the shrimp cocktail contemporary choice for ice. I've seen crushed where it's like almost the texture of water ice. Sorry, Italian ice for non-Philadelphians.
I know what water ice is. Don't talk down to me. Yeah, I think that pebble ice is definitely a better call. It's going to melt slower.
Yeah.
It's not going to make your shrimp watery.
Yeah. I really wanted to do an episode on shrimp cocktail because I think it's a really, really silly food. It's cold shrimp and it's ketchup. And I pay a lot of money to eat it. And I know it's always a bad financial decision, and I can't seem to stop.
It's a very silly food. It's a very 1950s dinner party food. I would say there's something inherently funny just about shrimp.
Look at them.
Hannah and I have been obsessed with shrimp for years now, but she definitely likes shrimp cocktail more than I do.
Why? What's your problem?
It's just like, it seems like such a reckless use of money, and I could think of so many other ways I would rather eat shrimp. That said, I do enjoy a shrimp cocktail. I'm not sure I want one entirely to myself. I think it should be shared.
I disagree. I'm so happy to eat shrimp cocktail by myself. In fact, I relish a solo shrimp cocktail. It's similar to when you're eating mozzarella sticks. Like you would never eat 6 naked mozzarella sticks, pull apart. You'd eat 6 pull apart string cheeses.
Oh, I thought you said mozzarella sticks.
I'm making my point. May I make my point?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you wouldn't eat 6, just, side of the road shrimps. But when they've been taken
Shrimp. Okay, so I wouldn't eat 6 shrimp found on the side of the road. That's true. Yes.
Just like you wouldn't eat 6 string cheeses, but you would eat a plate of mozzarella sticks probably. I wouldn't eat 6 sort of like loosey side of the road shrimps, but it's in a shrimp cocktail form if it's been poached, if it's been loved, if it's been properly lemoned, if the horseradish is coming through in the cocktail sauce. That is paradise to me.
Great.
What do you think about solo shrimp cocktail eating, Jonathan?
I am not generally a fan. I have done it before. I think that I'm going to go back to the environment thing. I actually had a solo shrimp cocktail yesterday in Whole Foods by myself.
Which Whole Foods?
The one in Hudson Yards. And it was kind of like, it's sort of like, again, the environment thing really adds into sort of like how I feel about a shrimp cocktail at any given time. And this really eating it in the Whole Foods in Hudson Yards made me depressed in an almost existential way. It was bad.
But can I ask you, is there any food that you would eat in that Whole Foods in the Hudson Yards, specifically Hudson Yard Whole Foods, that would make you feel not depressed?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I think that there are foods that are inherently happier. I don't know, if I ate an ice cream cone there, I might be happy.
Yeah.
You'd be fired on the spot from the Infatuation. We came down and saw you in Whole Foods eating an ice cream cone instead of working.
Yeah.
We kick you to the curb.
Where's
Get out of
Jonathan?
here, Jonathan?
He's been gone for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I saw Jonathan eating an ice cream cone at Whole Foods. He looked really happy.
Get rid of him.
Yeah. How does shrimp cocktail make you feel, just in general, when you're eating it?
Yeah.
I think it makes me feel similar to if I eat some smoked salmon or something like that. It's it feels like it is just kind of like this pure protein where I feel a little bit like a bear in a river or something, and I'm just kind of there's not a whole lot that it can, not a whole lot of places that it can hide under, or things that you can kind of distract from just this is a pure shrimp that you're eating.
I agree. There's something about shrimp that unlike an oyster or a mussel or a clam, because it has that translucent shell, like the casing, shrimp in the wild pretty much looks like the shrimp we eat. Like maybe there's a little more curvature when you cook it, but like an oyster, you don't know what's going on under there. Like yesterday, Bryan and I went to Penny and had on in the East Village on like 9th or something, between 3rd and 4th.
I want to go 10th. 10th.
Yeah. It's a seafood restaurant that is mostly raw bar, but they also have some hot stuff. It's this beautiful long room, and they have what I believe is the best shrimp cocktail I've ever eaten, period, in my whole life. And it did not disappoint. It's been called by Bryan and co. at the Infatuation NYC as the best shrimp cocktail in New York. And I usually am skeptical, and I like to be an independent thinker, so I was worried it would let me down. And it so didn't. It was so beautiful. Last night at 3 a.m., I was like thinking about, Penny's shrimp cocktail, and I wrote down that I wanted to be, years from now, I want to get old with Penny's shrimp cocktail so I can ask it about its upbringing.
Okay. What do you think it would say?
I think it would say I was poached gently. I think it would say I was caught in Argentina. I don't actually know where the shrimp is from. Do you know where the shrimp is from?
It is Argentinian red shrimp.
Okay.
I do not know if it is in fact from Argentina. I would also like to point out it is not poached. We'll get into that later, though.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But the other thing that we had at Penny, we had these confit oysters. So they're taken out of the shell and then cooked in fat, essentially, oil. And they're warm. So it's really like eating a warm booger.
Yes, you called them boogery several times while we were eating them.
And I just think this oyster shell is, there's mystery there, and then when you don't like the way it it's when you see too much, it's kind of yucky. Like keep your private parts to yourself, oyster.
Sure.
But shrimp, it's like that's a beautiful, gorgeous body in that shrimp, and we know exactly what it looks like.
I would just say one other thing that I love about a really good shrimp cocktail is when the tail feels like it's been like greased or something, and it comes off just like so easily.
Yeah, low effort
interesting.
Yeah, every now and then you get one and it just like kind of like breaks off some of the meat in there, and it's like it kind of like ruins the whole thing. You need some grease in there. You
are a Southern boy, yes?
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm from North Carolina.
Okay, so I associate Southern eating culture with like prawns and crawfish, and also just like maybe eating the whole shell. Like, do you when you eat shrimp cocktail, are you ever eating the tail?
I'm not an animal. No.
Hannah ate a tail last night.
Last night. Because I didn't want it to be over at Penny. It was so incredible.
I know, they judged you for sure.
No way. Judge you for not.
100%.
Judge you for not.
So, Jonathan, when the tail slides off, you would say that's a sign of a really good shrimp cocktail. What else do you think makes a perfect shrimp cocktail?
I think that we already sort of touched on temperature, but I do think that's a hugely important part of it. I think it's nice to have a little bit of some garnish of some sort on there. Like I think one shrimp cocktail that I had recently that was excellent was at The View.
What's The View?
The View is a Danny Meyer restaurant. I believe it's in the Marriott Times Square.
Okay.
And it's sort of it's a rotating restaurant, and it goes 360 degrees. You kind of like, depending on how long you're going to be sitting in the restaurant for your dinner, you could see, all of Manhattan while sort of like eating a shrimp cocktail very slowly. But not
at puke speed. We're not moving too fast.
It's moving very slowly.
Okay.
I would say I was probably there an hour and a half and maybe made it 3/4 of the way around.
Nice.
Probably. But they do a really nice thing where they shave horseradish on top of the shrimp in the shrimp cocktail.
But they're not pre-saucing with the cocktail sauce on the shrimp as well.
Not pre-saucing.
Okay. So
No.
I, in my shrimp cocktail field work, have seen more and more shaved horseradish right on the shrimp at a place like Little Water in Philly. They have shaved horseradish right on the shrimp, and then they also have like a house smoked ketchup. Also in Philly, a place called Vernick Fish, which is like the fanciest seafood restaurant you can go to. They have these beautiful big shrimp that cost $7 a piece, highway robbery, and they are pre-dressed with this like gochujang cocktail sauce and shaved horseradish. And it's like very explosive flavor and delicious. But I'm not sure pre-saucing is always my favorite move.
I think it could have delicious results. I haven't tried it, but what you described sounded good.
Yeah.
But it does take away from the aesthetic
Yes.
of the shrimp cocktail, which is, I feel like, is half the reason why you order it. So, Jonathan, you said the View was one of your top shrimp cocktails?
Yes.
Would you care to know a little more about the shrimp cocktail at the View? I actually have some inside information.
Oh my
Yes,
God, what if he
please.
said
Wow.
no? He was like, nah. I'm good.
So, that the View, they use black tiger prawns from Vietnam.
Oh.
The prawns are poached in a court bouillon of grapefruit, chili, and salt in their shell,
Oh my God.
following they're peeled and deveined after being cooked to keep the flavor and snap. Finally, they are placed on pebble ice and topped with fresh shaved horseradish. 4 to a cocktail, a total of $28.
Did you taste any of that chili or grapefruit, or is it just, it's too subtle, probably?
I don't remember tasting it. I think
Yeah.
maybe if I went back and I knew that those were the kind
Yeah,
of notes
sure,
I was
sure.
looking for, I would
Yeah.
get it. But yeah, I don't remember tasting grapefruit.
Well, I think court bouillon is definitely a common factor of cooking shrimp cocktail.
Most definitely, it's the standard when
It's
it
the
comes
standard.
to cooking. But should it be?
I don't know. The other thing that I have a gripe with in terms of shrimp cocktail, and I don't have that many gripes, this is probably the only one. Jonathan, when you're at a restaurant and you see shrimp cocktail, what section on the menu is it usually listed under?
Isn't that under apps? First course? What? Raw bar. It's under the raw bar section.
It's under the raw bar. And that's not right, because shrimp cocktail is in fact cooked.
It's cooked.
Doesn't
Yeah.
that make you mad?
Do you think a lot of people
Yeah.
think it's raw?
People think it's raw, and so I think people were like, I don't like sushi, I don't like raw stuff, they don't need to order shrimp cocktail, and they're missing out. That's a cooked
Interesting.
food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have, I have to say, you have not touched your shrimp cocktail.
I would absolutely love some.
Should we have a
Yeah.
shrimp cocktail break?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at him. There
you.
were 7 shrimp in this shrimp cocktail, and we are 3 people. Boom!
Wow.
Well, that was a one biter, Bryan.
How
And
did-
you
how
like
clean did it
sucked it
come
out.
off?
That was crazy.
That came off pretty clean too. That tail.
It's firm.
Yeah.
A little snappy. I would say it's oddly salty to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little saltier than I would like.
Yeah.
And has an oceanic flavor that maybe is not totally welcome.
So you hate it.
I would say it's not my favorite shrimp cocktail.
I like this. I like
Jonathan's
oceanic.
Thoughts on this shrimp cocktail?
I think I would have liked more cocktail sauce on there. I think that's
I'm sorry,
kind
the
of,
vet of cocktail sauce is not enough for you?
I mean, on my specific shrimp,
sure.
I would have dunked all the way down to the tail, maybe almost, you know? Like if I were here
Oh.
alone.
Does size matter to you in terms of shrimp? Do you want a U10? Which for listeners at home who are not constantly thinking about shrimp, cocktail means that per pound you're getting under 10 shrimp. So they're big.
I mean, I think similarly to oysters, I think, like I don't want them too small and I don't want them too big. You know?
Goldilocks situation.
Goldilocks situation. I would say that these that we're having right now are kind of ideal. I wouldn't want them much bigger than that, I would say.
This seems like classic sort of like cartoon rendering shrimp size.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are pretty ideal.
One other thing that I just talking about the 7 shrimp on here, there's 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
I think like maybe this is something we get into, but the odd number of shrimp that is
Yeah.
often served in a shrimp cocktail, because I kind of agree with you, Bryan, it's like something that you like to share with people. It's something that like
Yeah.
you can eat it on your own, but it's
Yeah.
nice to have. And I think it should be a law that every restaurant says on the menu how many shrimp you get in a shrimp cocktail. So it's not a surprise. You're eating with someone else and then 5 shrimp comes out and next thing you know, you're divorced, you know?
I actually kind of like it as a way to, separate the boys from the men, so to speak.
Expand on this.
Like, if I'm eating with Bryan, I'm going to be like, can I have that? And he's going to be like, that's your shrimp. You should take that shrimp. So I'm a man.
I'm a boy.
Yes.
Am I a good boy?
You're a good boy.
Great.
Jonathan, you said that setting really matters when you're eating shrimp cocktail. Does shrimp cocktail automatically make you feel fancier, or is it only when you're in a fancy place?
I think shrimp cocktail can kind of like really just make whatever situation you're in feel more intense in a lot of ways. Like,
intense.
I think if you're eating it in a nice restaurant, you're going to feel even fancier. But if you're eating it in a dirty bar, which
Yeah.
sometimes they will serve shrimp cocktails or something, it's you're gonna feel worse about yourself because
Right.
you're eating it. in
It doesn't make
that
you feel
environment.
fancy. You're at a dive bar. You roll up to the dive bar. You order the shrimp cocktail. No one's like, "Hey, you think you're better than me?" I don't know why that's what people in dive bars sound like. That's probably offensive.
Yeah, it brings you further down, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a high-low food. It can be your sort of like dingy, place that's been around for decades, shrimp cocktail order, or it can be served at the finest of steakhouse. Bryan and I had a really sort of, I'm going to go ahead and say like run-of-the-mill shrimp cocktail at a place called Trax, which is near Penn Station and MSG and Moynihan Train Hall.
It made me feel fancy.
It did make me feel fancy. It's was cooked with like true excellence. Like it had the little flop that you want, but still firm enough. It smelled, like the ocean floor, but it smelled like my boyfriend's shoes after he works a long service in the kitchen.
And this is like at a sports bar in the shadow of Penn Station. We're one of 10 people there, but the place easily seats 100.
It used to
or
be
2 of 10 people
underground, and then they moved.
Okay.
It has the vibe of a place that was formerly underground. It looks like a diner. It behaves like a dive bar. Like Bryan got Guinness, and I got some, I don't know, some silly Pilsner or
fancy
something.
pants beer.
Yeah. And it's actually a raw bar. It's a lovely place.
Wow.
I think we should go have drinks there after this.
But yeah, it did make me feel fancy
did.
at that very unfancy place.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Hannah offended the server too. Hannah, what did you say? You said, "Wow, this is surprisingly good
I didn't
about
say
the
it like
shrimp
that.
cocktail." And then the bartender was like, "Why is that surprising? We're a raw bar."
And then Bryan had to make me backpedal. And I was like, well, some people are shrimp cocktail people and some people aren't. And so it's a really divisive thing. And
now we're banned from Trax.
Shout out to Trax who provided this shrimp cocktail.
no way. Okay. Shout out to Trax who provided
Shout out to Trax.
this incredible shrimp cocktail that you just besmirched. You said, with a little something.
I was wrong.
Well,
Hey,
it's interesting.
sometimes
It
you're
plays
wrong.
into your point, Jonathan, about setting. Like, we are not in Trax.
We're not in Trax. This is actually how it looked at Trax, though. That's exactly how much cocktail sauce we had.
Trax fills up their martini glasses to the brim with cocktail sauce.
But they randomly stuff a few pieces of lettuce inside. I don't know why.
Shiso. There was a shiso leaf.
Oh, shiso?
Yeah.
Wow, so fancy.
Yeah.
Is it in a clear glass like this?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I mean, I think that it does make a nice sort of tablescape. It's nice to see in front of you when you sit down at a table. It also kind of makes you feel like you're in Vegas in the 50s or something, which I
Yeah.
think is always kind of a nice vibe for dinner.
My understanding is that the history of shrimp cocktail is very connected to Vegas. That it was popularized in Vegas in a casino in the 50s, which is maybe why you just brought that up.
That makes sense to me.
But my understanding is that the origins of shrimp cocktail, it started as oyster cocktail because oysters were everywhere in, I believe, the 1800s. We're going to have to fact check me on that.
No, that sounds right.
And
Yeah.
then we overfished our oysters, and someone was like, uh-oh, what do we do? And the reason it's called cocktail is because they would take these oysters and put it with cocktail sauce, which was slightly different. It was like Worcestershire, and they would actually drink it with alcohol too. And it was served as a drink in a glass, which sounds like a dare now, but that's why we call it shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, that's still around, actually. Oyster shooters, you'll still see those kind
Yeah.
of at bars
Yeah.
and restaurants.
Yeah.
Kind of like Bloody Mary sauce and alcohol and an oyster.
I mean, I'm down.
Me too. So I would say for me, when it comes to ordering shrimp cocktail, first off, 99 out of 100 times, I will not order the shrimp cocktail on a menu.
Why not?
Due to the price generally, and also the fact that I don't think that a lot of restaurants take shrimp cocktails seriously enough.
Yeah.
You just need to poach some shrimp and serve it with cocktail sauce, and boom, that's shrimp cocktail. The diner's expectations just aren't there.
What about at parties? Will you...
At parties, I will gobble down shrimp
You'll
cocktail.
gobble. Yeah.
Uh,
It's funny. I asked a bunch of friends, will you order shrimp cocktail at a restaurant, or is it just a party food to you? And I think it was a pretty 50-50 split about the restaurant orderers or the party gobblers. And that, to me, is directly correlated with how people feel about sort of recklessly spending money in restaurants. You cannot be financially squeamish and order shrimp cocktail.
yeah.
I don't even mean like you have to be rich. You just have to be willing to spend money at restaurants. And so it's like that also keeps prices also kind of high.
Yeah, average price for shrimp cocktail is probably around, what would you say, like $24?
It depends where you are. It
Yeah.
depends how new the restaurant is, I think, also.
I had one in Boston recently. This place called Pier 6.
What were you
and,
doing in Boston?
I was there for research ahead of our ratings launch in Boston.
Ooh.
The Infatuation just launched ratings in Boston a few weeks ago, and this was all in preparation for that. But Pier 6, I would highly recommend if you find yourself in Boston, going to Pier 6. It sort of juts out into the harbor. It is an actual pier, and you can sit on the roof and kind of just like, I think it was 4 shrimp that they serve you at Pier 6. $28, same price as the View, and I would say similar size.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic shrimp cocktail with a good amount of cocktail sauce on the side. Tails slip off easily.
You love this tail slip.
I think it's important. I think
Oh my
it's important.
God. It's almost erotic the way you're talking about it. I'm sorry you're my coworker, but it's like so
That's
intense.
a very Hannah thing to say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize for Hannah, Jonathan.
It's
I'm
okay.
still learning how to talk to people.
Yeah.
If you're looking for great seafood in your city, check out our guides and reviews on theinfatuation.com or at Infatuation on Instagram or at The Infatuation on TikTok.
Now we're going to play a game called How Much Does That Shrimp Cocktail Cost? We're going to start with Dirty French, which is a place for steaks in Miami. And the menu description, simply, shrimp cocktail. And our Infatuation review from editor Ryan Pfeffer says, this order includes 6 fairly large, tasty shrimp sprinkled with chives. It's served with a solid house cocktail sauce and what's supposed to be spicy remoulade, although it's not very spicy at all. What do you guys think?
Wow, guess how much that shrimp cocktail costs. Crucially, you got to keep in mind, Dirty French is a major food group restaurant, so a
Yep.
sister restaurant of Carbone. Not cheap.
Yep.
Jonathan, you have any initial thoughts here?
I would say $32.
I was leaning
$32.
32 as well. Maybe it's steep though, I don't know.
I'm going 28.
28.
Yeah. All right, what is it, Hannah?
$33.
Ooh.
That's way off.
That's a steep cocktail.
That's steep.
You guys are so much better than me at this.
Yeah, we're better than you at a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, let's we'll do HMS Bounty. So this is from HMS Bounty in LA, and the Infatuation review here. It's written by Brant Cox and our editor-in-chief Arden Shore. The straightforward version here: 4 shrimp, classic cocktail sauce, and 2 packets of saltines isn't only good because of the setting or the shot and beer combo you just knocked back. It's good because the shrimp are plump, chilled, and delicious.
Shot beer combos.
Yeah,
This is
that to me implies cheaper.
Keep in mind, 4 shrimp. 4 shrimp.
Fancy places serve 4 shrimp cocktail.
$15.75.
I think it's gonna be. I think we're going like $20, $24.
I'm gonna say $19.95.
I like that.
I love the 95. That's
Yeah.
fun.
So the shrimp cocktail at HMS Bounty in LA will set you back $11.99.
Oh, hot dog!
Let's go.
Yeah.
Greg.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That is a good deal.
Okay, HMS Bounty. Okay, LA. The next one is Boulevard Steak, which is a steakhouse in LA. The menu description says jumbo shrimp cocktail, mustard aioli, and cocktail sauce. From our guide to the best shrimp cocktail in Los Angeles, which was penned by Brant Cox at Arden Shore, they say dry ice smoke should normally be reserved for haunted houses and arena rock shows. But at Boulevard Steak, a splashy modern steakhouse in Sherman Oaks, it's a fun and slightly silly way to make a dish that always looks more or less the same stand out. It's gonna be pricey.
I don't
That's
want dry
very
ice on my
personal.
shrimp.
No,
I
that
would
seems like
say.
hazardous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oof. The place is described as splashy.
Are we sure it's pronounced Boulevard Steak too? It says BLVD.
Right.
You're paying for that abbreviation.
So what are you guessing?
I'm going with $36.
$36.
I'm sorry, I gotta do something. I've been losing.
You've been
okay, I gotta
losing.
take a
You gotta
swing.
go
I gotta take
bold.
a big swing.
I
You go
do
first.
think this one's going to be on the pricier side of thing. I'm going to say $30 for this one.
Okay. I think this is a per shrimp price. I think we're going It's $5 per shrimp.
Oh, okay.
And you can order as many as you want.
Okay.
What did you say again?
I said $30.
Why didn't you ask me what I said?
$34 is the winner.
Is it
So
really
Bryan, you
34?
got
Wow.
it.
Yeah.
1 point for Bryan.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Next up, we have Sweetings in London.
Sweetings.
The menu
Oh.
description: prawn cocktail, because that's what they call shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, wait,
over
we
there.
need a minute to explain the difference between prawn cocktail and shrimp cocktail because I was horrified to learn this. It's basically a chopped up salad of shrimp with something called Marie Rose sauce, which is like tomato and mayo and Worcestershire, sort of like a Thousand Island minus the pickle or relish. And it's all like slapped into a bowl and then like covered with sauce. It's really gnarly looking. I have to say.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah.
It sounds bad.
It doesn't look good to me, but
More like
I
a
mean,
shrimp salad.
I don't know. I don't know.
Our Infatuation review of Sweetings says that their prawn cocktail is Pyrex bowl check, shredded iceberg lettuce check,
Oh,
a pile of prawns and Marie Rose sauce check. It looks and tastes as you'd expect. Okay, so that's
which
not,
sounds like a bad thing.
they don't seem to love it, but it also sounds pretty standard. So
Right.
I'm going with 7 pounds. They use pounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But what's the conversion right now?
I don't know. just go with your gut.
I think it's gonna be. I mean, London's expensive, and they like weird stuff over there. So I think maybe 14 pounds.
I feel like I'm gonna say 12 pounds.
Okay.
Okay. You ready for the price?
Yeah.
At Sweetings in London for the prawn cocktail, you are going to pay £12.50.
Okay. I
wow.
was close.
I continue to be very bad at this game. I think Jonathan's winning. If you care for the conversion, that is around $16.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, it's cheaper than what we're paying.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
a steal.
But it's a chopped up shrimp in a Pyrex bowl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Good job, everyone. That was fun.
Yeah. I won.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think Jonathan won.
Jonathan
You're a
out
guest.
shrimped us.
You always out shrimp us.
Where's your favorite shrimp cocktail? Let us know in the comments or shoot us a DM.
So clearly there are shrimp cocktail versions that cost $11-ish at a, old school, more bar-like place. And then there on the other side, you have your dry ice shrimp cocktail for $36.
34, I think it was.
$34. And so there's a pretty significant range there.
Yeah.
What do you make of that? I mean, do the factors of size and setting they seem to really make a difference in terms of price? If you're eating the $34 shrimp cocktail, is it so much better than the $11 shrimp cocktail?
Yeah, I guess it really depends on the technique that's used and then the presentation, I guess, to an extent. But it's more about you're paying for setting as well. But so setting, technique, presentation, and then the shrimp itself. I think that could make a shrimp cocktail cost that much. The question is, would you pay $34 for a shrimp cocktail? It could be better than the $11 shrimp cocktail for a range of factors. You have to consider all of it. And I think that's what we do with the Infatuation. We consider all of the factors: the presentation, the setting, the shrimp itself, and then the technique that's applied to the shrimp. So all of that just goes into the experience. It's not just the shrimp that you're eating. It's everything. So would we pay more? Would I pay more for a dry ice presentation? Probably not, but the writers in LA speak highly of it, and I trust them, so maybe it is just a good, fun time. Would you pay $34 for any shrimp cocktail?
No, I would not. I think all shrimp cocktails should cost $18.
Ooh, I love
I think that's
that.
like the sort of like a good baseline. And you can have that on a menu, and as a server, you could tell someone about it with a straight face. You're trying to a $34 shrimp cocktail is, I think, ridiculous.
That's a you shrimp cocktail.
Anything cheaper than that is like you're really questioning like where that shrimp's coming from and if it's actually any good or just going to make you sick. $18.
$18 is good for a restaurant. I mean, to me, now that I've had Penny's shrimp cocktail and it costs $24, which I think is a reasonable price for what we know to be a dish that requires, labor and thought and ingredients, like, sure. Not to, sound like a broken shrimp record. I went to Penny's shrimp cocktail. We had it Penny. You should go to Penny. But the Penny texture was my ideal because it almost had the, like, creamy, floppy thing that, like, when you go to have sushi and you have the raw ebi, the shrimp, it has that texture, it has that sweetness, but it's a cooked shrimp. I actually don't know how they get it like that.
Yeah.
And I'd love to know.
How do they get that? Well, I
don't know. Tell me
to
now.
the chef
Josh.
of Joshua Pinsky
Yep.
of Penny. First off, Joshua says, we used gold shrimp, tiger shrimp, blue shrimp, pretty much every shrimp seafood purveyors had. That is on the R&D process. He went
Whoa.
through all those kinds of shrimp
Okay.
and eventually landed on the Argentinian red shrimp. I'm very familiar with Argentinian red shrimp, he says, and I wanted to try to find something a little more local, but quality-wise in terms of texture and flavor, they beat everything else out. Now, in terms of preparation, when you get how to get to that perfect texture, here it is.
Yeah.
So Joshua says, when you cook shrimp cocktail, you're poaching them in a pot of flavored hot water, right? And then you tend to take them out and cool them in ice water so they stop cooking. Well, if you boil the shrimp and put them in ice water, you're just rinsing off the flavor. So, Joshua says, instead of cooking it in a seasoned court bouillon, we just steam the shrimp. Steaming seems key.
Whoa.
Joshua says, when we're steaming it, there's no flavor. That's why we cure them first. The cure is essentially just salt and
Yeah.
baking soda, I believe is what he said.
Dang.
The baking soda is to retain the plumpness of the shrimp, and that I think is a common
He
trick.
is a mad scientist.
But the real trick is that he says, after it's steamed, then we cool it in salted fish sauce water, essentially. There's other stuff in there, but he calls it salted fish sauce water, essentially, to make sure they have umami.
Oh my God.
Is the trick.
Wow.
That and the variety that they chose. After going through so many different types, they landed on Argentinian red shrimp.
Well, when we publish our shrimp cocktail cookbook, we can include that.
Oh,
They
it
make
is-
their own cocktail sauce, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Not with
it's-
ketchup, but like with tomatoes.
So it is with ketchup.
Oh.
They pretty much do ketchup times ketchup. It's double ketchup. They use ketchup and then they make their own ketchup pretty much and add it to that. Yeah, so like tomato paste, vinegar, horseradish, and then horseradish oil as well, which I think it gives it a nice kick, that horseradish
If
oil.
you've gotten this far in this episode about shrimp cocktail, you should go to Penny and to experience the height of shrimp
Absolutely
cocktail.
go to Penny. Chef Joshua Pinsky takes his shrimp cocktail very seriously.
But the thing that chefs don't want you to know is that shrimp is cheap as hell.
How cheap we talking?
I'll tell you. I was snooping around.
Mm-hmm.
I was asking some chefs, hey, you serve shrimp cocktail. How much you paying for shrimp? People did not want to tell me
Wow.
on the record. And I asked some people anonymously what these restaurant owners were paying for their shrimp. And I got some answers.
All right, let's hear it.
So restaurants usually order their shrimp by the case, which is not, like you or me. That would be extraordinary. And a case is usually like 40-ish pounds of shrimp. So I heard from someone who is a line cook, and they are not. They will remain anonymous. They said that they were getting Louisiana prawns for around $600 for 40-ish pounds of shrimp. So just for an exercise, let's say those prawns are like U12. So they're like 12 prawns per pound. That's 480 prawns in 40 pounds, which if you do the math, is about $1.25 per prawn. And I was like, maybe that's just one-off example. I'll give you another example. So this is like shrimp that's like white, all natural from this brand called Oishi, which is great. They sell it in the grocery store. You can get it frozen. Good to have in your freezer. That costs a restaurant, who I won't name, $11.99 per pound. So they're getting about 14 or fewer shrimp per pound. So it's going to cost the restaurant like $12 for 14 shrimp. And each shrimp is a little over $1. So if you're paying $34 for your shrimp cocktail, just know that shrimp cannot possibly cost more than a couple dollars. How does that make you feel? Does it anger you?
I don't know. I would need to talk to some NYC folks and like get the numbers here. Maybe it's different. It doesn't feel great. I feel a little betrayed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wasn't really ordering shrimp cocktail to begin with.
Shrimp cocktail is objectively a silly order. So
It
is there
is.
another silly order that you are really into? That perhaps shrimp people who don't get shrimp cocktail, but they want a silly little order could try?
I have a very silly order I can tell you about right now, but it is shrimp cocktail.
What?
Maybe we can get into this later. So,
No, come on. Let's hear it.
well, recently at Cafe Chelsea, I ordered a shrimp cocktail entree. Do you know what that is?
No.
No.
It's when you order 2 shrimp cocktails as your entree.
Wow. Wow.
Wait. I'm sorry. Your even sillier order is you'll get 2 orders of shrimp cocktail.
That's not an order I'm really going to do. I might do it for the bit going forward.
It's
I did
really
that
funny.
purely for research.
Yeah, that was really good.
To see if shrimp cocktail could be an entree.
Did it
So I
fill you
went-
up enough?
It did, in a gross kind of way.
Yeah, that doesn't. It doesn't sound amazing. It sounds like maybe
yeah.
too much.
I asked the bartender if people did it a lot or ever, and the bartender was like, "No judgment." They were just like, people do all sorts of things, man. And
It's Hotel Chelsea. We've seen it all.
yeah, and then so they brought me 2 shrimp cocktails side by side. I have a picture. I can show it to you, and then a side of fries, which was necessary.
You
I
should have
got,
asked them to course it out.
No, I didn't. I wanted the whole thing just right there,
I know, but just
so people could
imagine
see what I was
first course,
doing and
second
be
course.
disgusted. By the 8th shrimp, I started to feel a little disgusted. Shrimp, they were a little too cold. You don't want such a cold,
Oh.
clammy dinner.
Yeah.
The shrimp started to feel cadaverous. That is the exact right word.
It's a
They were
really
just
good
like
word. Well,
bodies.
maybe that's why it's the start of the meal thing. You just want a little cold cadaver to get you going.
One cadaver is okay. By the time you get to the 8th, it's too
Also,
much.
not to mention gout. That's a gout flare up, baby.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
So, Jonathan, as our shrimp cocktail extraordinaire, shrimp cocktail expert, shrimp cocktail hero, shrimp cocktail Puritan,
yeah, Puritan. I don't know if that's the right word.
shrimp cocktail
Obsessive.
obsessive.
Connoisseur.
Where do you see shrimp cocktail in terms of the future? Are we still going to be ordering shrimp cocktail? What's your guess into the future here?
I think that it is going to continue to get prohibitively more expensive. I think it won't be long before we're seeing a $50 shrimp cocktail. I think.
Yeah.
I also think it's sort of like, along with that, it's really primed. As you all might have heard, they're putting protein in everything these days, and figuring out the best way to sort of fit that in is kind of cleanly as possible. And I think shrimp is a good source of protein. I think people are going to pay to just have that clean protein.
So you're saying shrimp cocktail, how gym bros will get a lot of grilled chicken?
Yeah.
So you think shrimp cocktail might turn into a gym bro food?
I think it's possible.
Unfortunately, I think Jonathan's guess is so accurate. Protein is so in right now,
Yeah.
and it could the shrimp cocktail could take on new forms, such as the shrimp protein bar. I could definitely see that becoming a thing.
I was thinking about this future of shrimp cocktail, and we can guess as much as we want, but why not turn to the experts on the subject?
Who are the experts?
I did pay $30 to a psychic on Etsy.
30 seems too cheap.
Oh, she should raise her rates. The future of shrimp cocktail, according to our Etsy psychic. This is a worldwide forecast. Shrimp cocktail is not fading. It's being reborn. Here comes fusion. Shrimp cocktail will start borrowing from international cultures. Picture wasabi ponzu cocktails in Japanese fusion spots, spicy tamarind sauces in Latin-inspired eateries, or shrimp served with yogurt dill dips. Shrimp cocktail will be reimagined as a gourmet small plate rather than just an appetizer.
The psychic sounds like ChatGPT.
It's ChatGPT and also just like a kind of trend forecaster.
Yeah.
More than a psychic.
But, guys, I also asked, the first part of the question was, what is my future of shrimp cocktail? Personally, what's my future of shrimp cocktail? And they said, you and shrimp cocktail have a karmic tie. Shrimp cocktail for you won't just be a dish. It'll be a comfort anchor. When things feel uncertain or you need something familiar and grounding, the cool texture of bright lemon and sharp tang of cocktail sauce will feel like a reset button.
Hannah is definitely way more karmically connected to shrimp cocktail than I am. Observe the bright orange top. Hannah is shrimp
Don't
cocktail.
talk about my top. Will we all eat shrimp cocktail in the future?
I'm still going to order shrimp cocktail, but once a year, once every 2 years, which is about how often I order it anyway. it's never about the money. I mean, that's the reason why I don't order it.
Yeah.
But I never thought that shrimp cocktail was a good use of money anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that shrimp cocktail is a little too expensive, but I think, to kind of go back to what we were saying earlier, I think part of the reason that you're ordering shrimp cocktail is not for the value that you're getting,
For sure.
It's like you want that thing on your table. It is something of like it's a celebration in a glass,
Aw,
and I think that's why you do
nice.
it. And we're okay with paying a premium for that sometimes,
I totally agree. I'm going to continue to order shrimp cocktail. Shrimp is cheap, but it's delicious. And shrimp cocktail is delicious. And also, I think, shrimp cocktail is a moneymaker, hopefully for a reason. Maybe that means on a menu, a chef is able to have a dish that's a little less cost-effective money-making because they are raking in the dough with their shrimp cocktail.
So the shrimp cocktail eaters are subsidizing everybody else.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you order shrimp cocktail, just know you're doing a solid to everyone else.
You're paying for somebody else's meal.
Yeah.
everyone
big time.
should thank their friendly shrimp cocktail eater.
Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us and talking about your shrimp preferences on the pod. Hope you had a great time.
Did you have a good time?
I had a fantastic time.
What else did
It
you?
was shrimp-tastic.
Oh God. Well, you got to get out of here. If you loved this episode, if you were obsessed with this episode, if you were religiously changed by this episode, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Restaurant People on YouTube or any of your preferred podcast platforms. I'm Hannah.
I'm Bryan.
Thanks for joining us on Restaurant People, a show from Infatuation.